Always a pleasure to go after Saber. Good morning, everybody. So, a few months back, I traveled from Madrid to Orlando to go to an industry trade fair. I had a pretty early start. I got a delayed flight, and when I arrived 16 hours after departing at the hotel, I was pretty exhausted. Luckily, I could skip the queue at reception and go directly to my room because I had the key already on my watch. So my journey was pretty touchless. But it was at that moment when I was sitting alone in my hotel room, where it was pretty cold because the aircon was right turned up, that I got a strange feeling. Somewhat it was cold on the outside and it was cold on the inside. I was missing a little bit of a personal touch, some human interaction, a warm welcome. Hi Mirja, how was your flight? Some local recommendations, some additional services. So somewhat my journey had been digitalized and it was smooth, but it had also been a little bit dehumanized. So at Amadeus, we believe that by bringing data together and create a holistic view of the traveler, we can humanize the end-to-end traveler experience. This is good for the traveler, but even better for travel brands. McKinsey, understanding this, is projecting a revenue opportunity of $300 to $500 billion per year in the travel industry through personalization. Now, you are going to say, we have been talking about personalization for many years. And yes, there's no shortage about data in the travel industry. We all hear about big data every day, all day, the whole day long. However, there's one massive challenge in the travel industry. Travel data is fragmented. It's stored by different travel brands in different verticals. And until today, it is impossible to get a 360 view of the traveler and its end-to-end trip. And without the right insights, it's impossible to do true personalization. So imagine if travel brands could securely share the data between each other on a consensual and collaborative basis so that they get the right insights and they can provide relevant services according to individual preferences of the travelers and the needs at the trip. Well, it's no longer anymore imagining. The Amadeus Traveler-Centric platform is making it happen now. Through our cloud-based technology, travel brands can securely exchange data. We offer near real-time data exchange and analytics without data movement. Travel brands can securely exchange the data, respecting all legal frameworks such as GDPR or other local regulations. The best is, the traveler and travel brands remain in full ownership of their data. They decide what data they want to share, with whom, and for what purpose. Now, travel brands are already collecting a vast quantity of customer data. However, by tapping into the traveler-centric platform, they can understand much more. They understand the full context of the traveler and the full context of the end-to-end trip. And they benefit from real-time on-trip insights. And this will allow much better marketing decisions because they understand their customers and they can propose relevant personalized offers to their customers. This in return will create loyalty because customers will always favor the brands which understand them best and treat them best. As Maya Angelou says, people will forget what you said, but people will never forget how you made them feel. So what about revenue? We are operating a commission sharing model on our platform, so the travel brand who shares data benefits as well as the travel brand offering services and products. On a typical trip, a revenue uplift of 10 to 15% is possible. So now I would like to share with you two use cases which are already up and running on the platform right now. The first one is with hotels, when former guests are traveling again and have not yet booked their hotel. The traveler-centric platform can identify those and allow the airline to share the data with the hotel, so that the hotel in turn can offer a truly personalized offering to their guests. Working with a known hotel chain in Europe, we have validated to create a potential incremental room sales of 4 million euros per year. This is big, and we love it as much as the hotel chain loves it. In the second one, we are connecting insurance customers with their customers when they are traveling so that they can service them along the journey effectively. So imagine a ski family trip, a high-risk sport. It is fundamental that the right insurance is offered and can be triggered in case of an accident. So you can go down the slopes feeling protected. So what could have been better on my trip to Orlando if the hotel would have known that I'm coming from a long international trip? Maybe they could have sent me a video message the moment I'm entering the hotel lobby. Maybe they could have offered me a spa treatment or back massage in order to recover from my long trip. I can tell you I would have been very happy to pay for that at that point in time. We are all different and we expect a variety of services at different times. But with the right data, this service can be offered to everybody. So independent in which travel vertical you are operating, the Amadeus Traveler-Centric platform is your opportunity to create a seamless travel with a personal touch. And we can help you at Amadeus to implement this at a global scale now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mirja. Have a seat, please. Audience, will you be sharing your data through the exchange?
Mostly greens, a couple reds. Focus group, what do we think? A couple of halfways, but lots of greens. Maybe Amy or John, why don't you jump in here?
Yeah, I'll start and then pass it over. I think it's a really great concept, and we've been talking about personalization, to your point earlier, forever. I've been in this industry for 23 years. Like, literally, we've had this conversation over and over. I'm super skeptical that this type of a platform will work where every single travel provider has to somehow be part of it in order to pass data back and forth. I just don't see logistically how that's going to actually be tackled. So I think it's a great concept or a great idea. I think it's impractical.
John?
It's the same exact feedback. I think the concept and the idea is fantastic. It's how you actually do it at scale, and also the dimension of travelers' data privacy and what they're able to consent to with allow somebody else to have. I'm not sure how that fluidly works with the travel process, but it'd be something I'd love to hear a bit more about.
Is it a .org or a .com?
Terry?
Look, I think it's amazing to see a GDS finally doing something to create demand. So that's awesome, and doing something with data. Yeah, I think there's problems with sharing, but I think the incentive you put in place is good. And the example is Sojourn, which did something very similar in terms of data sharing between airline and hotels. It worked.
Steven?
I love that you're focusing on the customer and the customer journey and not just plumbing. And so that's what excites me about this.
Over to you. Maybe operationally, like how's it going to work?
Yeah, you are quite right. No? This is a big challenge. We are up for this challenge, no? Because we believe this is the only way if you put the data together. And sure, probably it will take some years until we have the data really comprehensively from all the different providers. But if we don't start at some stage, it's impossible. I was pointing out regarding consent management, this is a fundamental element here. We need to have the consent or under legitimate interest, depending on the use case. We need to validate this in the platform. And of course, we need to prove that there's value for the providers to share the data. Otherwise, of course, the concept is not going to fly. But so far, our feedback is pretty positive, and we are positive about it.
Great. Thank you so much, Mirja.
Thank you.